Says live now. You wanna play video? Let's see.
All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend, and with me, as always, is my beautiful co-host called Girl Six, better known as Fox.
Hey y'all.
Oh,
We back
got
in a
everything
Sunday.
all over the place. House full of kids, dogs barking. We out here. That's right, Wick. We in the building. Just trying to get in the front yard. All right. What was the topic I said I wanted to talk about? I can't even remember.
Women's views, the biasness of.
Oh, so just wanted to call the whole like biasy thing. I really want to know what the difference is with I really want to know what the difference is with all the shit that like everybody's saying, oh, defend black women, everything about Jada Pinkett. What's the difference between all the dudes who hairlines fucked up, who bald spots, who the Tory Laneses of the world, then on top the George Jeffersons of the world, literally male pattern baldness is alopecia, on the same show that we talking about Jada Pinkett, LeBron James get roasted on a daily basis. Him and Kevin Durant literally get roasted on a daily basis about their hair, and men just get roasted in general. Like, oh, but I met this dude online. He was hat fishing. All this other stuff. Hairline look like this. Bald spots here, patches here. Let the dreads go. Let the afro go. Let the braids grow. Let the fro grow. You got all of this shit going on. So what's the difference between that and the big horrific difference when we talk about women?
Actually, there is no difference. However, society has placed a standard of beauty on women. A woman's hair is her glory.
Is it really?
I mean, that's what it says, right?
I don't know. I know a whole bunch of women bald ass heads.
So I do
On
too. I
purpose.
used to be. I used to be one of them. I had my hair shaved a couple times. So, but that's the standard, right? So we look to a woman to
So
have
it's the same thing with
long,
men, too.
luxurious hair, or if not, just hair on their heads.
I think
So,
every man knows that people judge you off of your hair. Like, as a man, like, people judge how well you're aging by your hair. Like, if you see a dude and he's 50, he could literally smoke crack hourly every fucking day of his life and shoot heroin in every vein in his body, not have a tooth in his head. But if he throwing some dentures and his hairline look good, they're gonna be like, man, he aging pretty well. I mean, he could look like crack bacon on the cast. It's like, yo, that's the thing about it. So men are judged by that, and we're super sensitive about it. Don't no dude be wanting to hear them bald jokes. It's like my hairline ain't what it used to be. Shit, I be sensitive about my shit. Like, you papered in something. What we gonna do here? Dudes be going through all this stuff in the world, but this is what's crazy about it is like women drove this standard for themselves, because the fact of the matter is the hair isn't the beauty of the woman. It's if the woman's attractive. You know what I mean? It's if the woman's attractive. It's kind of like when women say this thing like, oh, men don't want natural women. They want these women that this and that. No, they would prefer a natural woman, but nobody's going to take a natural woman who's a 2 over an enhanced woman who's a 9. It's just not going to happen. That's just reaction. Just like if I'm up here like, oh, well, I'm natural. I don't do anything else. And you got this dude over here, and he done had the Beijing and everything, so his hairline popping, or he done had this and that. He on HGH. He got all of this shit popping. You gonna just find him more attractive. It ain't that you like, oh, I prefer natural men, especially if a natural man could look like that.
then you're gonna have some people who say, "Oh, I love bald men" and all that. So
Yeah, it's gonna be people out there who like
Exceptions,
bald men. It's dudes out there who love women with short haircuts. I don't
Yeah.
really care what your hair look like, as long as it look good on you. I'd rather you have a short haircut than a 27 piece.
yeah,
Right? I mean, we're gonna just be factual
Oh my
about it. I'd
goodness.
much rather you have that because it's like there's many crazy ass wigs that some women wearing, and like, come on, man. So it's like dudes get roasted religiously, and it's like the standard, like dudes ain't held to a thing, like dudes not held to a beauty standard.
Well, I think that if it's such an issue for the males, then they need to speak up.
Men are
Maybe if they
speaking up.
make an issue about it, then maybe people will take it seriously.
So the only way that a person can notice their hypocrisy is if somebody hollers about it. So
I'm
the
just
same
talking
things
about
that a group of people could be bitching about. It's like, oh, I'm bitching about this, and then it's like, and the same. That's like literally being like, I'm bitching about racism, and then I go and make some racial slur towards Asian people right afterwards, like, don't call me the N word, and then bang, 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 every Wu-Tang subtitle movie reference I can make in my life right there. It's like, that's literally like, boom, I hate this. Let me dish it back out. It's the same thing.
it is the same thing. It definitely is the same thing. But I mean, that's the society we live in. A bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah,
It's a,
but that's what's
that
crazy.
is that is something a construct that's been driven by society for a long time. So if you don't make an issue about it publicly, maybe you won't be heard at all. So
But
maybe
the
y'all
point-
need to
so-
start saying something. Don't talk about
no.
my hairline.
No, this is the thing about it. It's not. I don't think it's sure. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. But what I'm saying is like, you can't bitch about something and then in the same breath turn around and do that to somebody. Like, I can't sit here and be like, we shouldn't hit black women, and then come home and punch you in the mouth. Like, that's literally what people are doing by saying like, oh, don't talk about black women's hair with alopecia. LeBron James shit look crazy. Look at Tory Lanez. Wow, look like his head was on fire. All of this crazy shit, and then it's like, at least Jada look good with hers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tory Lanez, when he take his hat off, it is crazy. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new world under there. And everybody just like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. It's funny because it's men. So my thing is just like, I don't care either way. It's like, because you know what? My hair thinning, the whole nine, people gonna talk shit. Guess what? I got jokes too. I got jokes. And I talk about mothers, grandmothers, dead people, loved ones,
Babies.
children, babies. Let your baby be precious instead of cute when you pull that damn blanket off. After you done said something about my hair. He's so precious. No, he's not. He look like a potato. Your baby look like a fucking potato with spuds growing out of it. Like, I'm riding on it. We got over here in the chat, we got so Wick, he said, Will laughed at the joke. We ain't even going into like the back and forth with Will and Chris. I'm just talking about the double standard of like women where it's like, don't talk about us, defend us, this and that. But we gonna ride on your line, Mr. Hatfish. You know what I'm saying? Chris, hey, yo, I'm okay, Fox. See? Somebody had to check. We checking on Chris. We checking on Chris. My boy Sean said, I feel insecure around women who waves are spinning harder than mine. Big facts. Yeah, I feel you out there. I feel you. I feel you. But you know what?
Speak on that,
But
Sean.
you know what? A woman can't keep a hairstyle for about more than 18 months unless not even. Like, they can keep a base hairstyle. Like, oh, I got locks. 37,000 styles later. Like, you know what I mean? But
like
that's the closest thing.
so-
That's y'all problem. Y'all like variety.
No,
That's why Hot Girl Summers come about, because y'all be
not
on some
really.
goddamn variety.
There's nothing wrong with having variety.
There's nothing wrong with a little spice in your life.
Yeah. Y'all don't be complaining about it, so what's the point?
What we going to complain about?
Okay, exactly.
Like, what we
So,
going to complain about? We're going to sit here and be like, damn, your head look like a dirty tennis ball. But what am I to say? Like, what am I going to do? Like, oh, no. Like, it's a whole lot of things that dudes don't complain about. You know what else we don't complain about? I don't know. When we hungry, we don't really complain about terrible food. We be like, hey, shit, it's edible. Let's get through it. We don't complain about terrible head. We don't complain about terrible standards. We just like, hey, man, got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? It's like dudes be.
So don't get mad at us for making things public. What's an issue to us, and y'all just staying silent? That don't have nothing to do with us. Speak up. Closed mouth don't get fed.
I think that no matter how much you do talk about, it's a woman that's gonna say if you gay, then say that there. No matter how much a man, men do not get to, like, if we just keep it in the butt, men do not get to complain. Every time a man cries, he a meme. Let's start there. Every man that cries is a fucking meme. You know what I'm saying? Women can cry, have the ugly cry, snot coming out their nose, and it's just a whole bunch of bras with tissues. A dude cry, we all like, damn, he done, oh, Jordan, oh, LeBron, oh, Will. You know what I mean? We looking at these great black men, and as soon as they cry, because they have any type of emotion come out, it's like, bro, you a meme.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Crying Jordan face. When they say crying Jordan face, you know exactly the image pops into your head.
Oh yeah, I see
Anywhere
it already. I see
damn
it
near anywhere in the world. But if you are privy to the internet in the last 10 years, you hear crying Jordan face. A picture pops in your head, and we all got the same picture in our head.
It's a lot of tears.
A lot of damn tears, a lot of swollen face, everything else. So it ain't too much. Like, to be honest, everybody tell me, oh, men should do this, man can do it. Men can't do shit. One, I'll be honest about as far as men. We had each other neck about it, like, you gonna be a bitch and cry about it? You gonna cry when you get in the car. You know what I mean? You gonna be a bitch and cry about it. So
yeah, start with
somewhere
y'all.
in my damn I'm red as hell. But yeah, so yeah, sure. It start with us. It start with y'all too. Like when y'all if y'all wear $100 shoes or $1,000 shoes, you know who that made a difference to? The woman that you competing with. Because them shits look the same to me when they pointing at the ceiling fan. Like it don't matter if they're 100 pair of shoes or whatever. B Rabbit said plot twist is usually men that make memes about other men crying. Facts, but it's also men and women on it. What I'm saying is like I'm starting off with men do that, right? Women are the same ones that attack women just like men attack men. What I'm saying about the whole thing is it's wild and valid to complain about something. It's like, yo, somebody touched my kid and then I go be a pedophile. Like if it's like, you know what I mean? Somebody talked about my girl Jada. They talked about my sister. They talked about her hair, this and that. LeBron James' hairline looked like a forgotten memory. It's thoughts and prayers hanging on. Like, you know what I mean? And so, but all that is like,
and it is.
Yeah. See, but all of that's cool. But then as soon as somebody say something about Jada, who look good with it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe he need to look good with his then. Maybe
he do look good. You know why? He a billionaire. His. That's why he look good. He look good. Ain't no, like Jay said, ain't no such thing as
about it. So
what he gonna do? Complain? What can LeBron say? Could y'all please stop talking about my hairline? The moment he says that, the internet will cook him for the next 37 summers. That dude grandkids will come.
A long time ago though.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? When has a man ever complained about something that worked out well?
Listen, that's
no.
There's men. An ever-changing society, so he need to take a chance. Be the first one then. Say something about it. Society is very sensitive and temperamental right now. They're canceling everybody for every little thing. That's the whole problem.
Man, we need to cancel culture.
I believe in that. I believe in canceling cancel culture.
Because people can't have a talk. You can't have an honest talk about anything. Because people always are just so quick to be like, well, no, you can't say this and you can't say that. Yo, get out of here, bro. I don't want to hear none of that.
With your own therapist, you have issues speaking up.
What
talking.
You mean with your own therapist?
Yeah, because, so there was a recent study that was going on, right? And the therapists were saying that they feel a little blockage when they're trying to reach their clients because they don't want to know, they don't know what's too far, So if they say something too far or it will come across as insensitive, so now, they lost a client or you see what I'm saying? Nobody can be themselves anymore. And even there was an example of a woman stating that she would go to her therapist. Her daughter is transgender, but she feels one way about it. But to the world, she has to put on this front like it's okay to be, or if she expresses any displeasure or anything that she is against, in reference to it, she's not a supportive mom anymore. How dare you? Shame on you, and go to hell. And that's your baby. You should love her. And so she has a problem with expressing difficult feelings and complex feelings about how she's handling the situation and what's going on in her own personal life, because that affects her too. So to deal with that and to go back and talk to her therapist about that, she feels like there's like a disconnect. There's a disconnect, and because she doesn't want to feel as though she is this terrible person versus what she really is inside and how she's trying to cope with what this ever-changing thing is that's going on in her household. So
I think like we'll go to it. It's just a shitty society where it's like you can't say that you feel. It just goes more into like people can't express their real feelings. Like so the stress and everything that people under mentally and everything else is going to be a lot because a lot of it comes from the fact that you just can't express yourself. Kid, what's up, baby? You just can't express yourself. So anytime you express yourself and it doesn't go with the grain, it's not with a narrative. You got to think about so many. You can't just vent. It's like you got to vent, but you got to hit these 37 switches first to make sure the steam go out the right hole. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if you vent, you just like, I fucking hate this, and they love her like, oh my God, he's this and he's that. But the crazy shit is, we all had these moments where we were just like, yo, how many like fucking publicly people done said, like, women done said I hate men done said I hate this bitch, fucking this, that, and the third, da 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 da, and people just Like people do that all the time in person. And all we're doing now is becoming a society of people where it's like figure out how to hide your bigotry. Now you just got to figure out how to hide your bigotry. So it's like I can hate gays, I can hate black people, I can hate white people, I can hate women, I can hate transgender, I can hate whoever I want to hate as long as I navigate the conversation properly. So we're just in that era of like I would rather you give me the fake handshake, the fake handshake and act properly, and then call me the N-word behind my back and do this and that.
So dealing with that, right? Dealing with that and everything that we have to go through, especially watching our tongues and doing all this foolishness, right? That creates a whole nother set of issues inside.
Yeah, because people don't feel
we don't feel
validated, don't feel comfortable.
We got anxiety coming up now about what I'm going to say or how I should say it, and it creates a whole different set of issues that people have to deal with.
It makes regular ass life and conversation exhausting. Like people don't even want to get into, like, you almost just wish you could wear a sign that say, "Yo, I make dark jokes."
Right.
Like I make dark jokes. I don't take this shit offensive. I throw pedophiles and wood chippers, and just had that like 3 cards and carry them up, and then people like, all right, well now I can now you can just move over into this corner, and people already know they about to like, oh, I'm gonna go over there and talk to him. He looked pretty cool, and I make dark jokes about death and mental health, and they be like, I'm not going over there, well, this and that, and then you got like, and then it'd be like 20 people. Like if you put 100 people in like that and told them to pick up cards like that and be 100% honest, there'd be 10 people on the outskirts of the room having a ball of their life, and the other 90 people would be corny as hell in the middle, just trying to be politically correct. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing fun about always being politically correct. You're like, oh, well, there's fun. The time that you've laughed hysterically has been, one, if you're laughing hysterically, it's at the expense of something. Somebody, something is at the expense. Like, I laughed for about 30 straight seconds because Rocky tried to jump over a table and tripped. He ran, tried to jump over the table, tripped because Coco jumped on the table, cleared it outside. And then Rocky was like, shit, I could do that too. Boom, 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 boom. He rolled for like 3 feet. And I laughed for 30 seconds. The point of the matter is it's going to be at somebody or something's expense. So now we just living in a place where it's like, hide it, right? Like, it's like I told people when I moved to the South. Thing I love about the South, I like my racism up front. I like to pull up, hear dueling banjos playing, and a couple of good old boys outside to say, hey, your money no good here. Okay, cool. Instead of like go somewhere like Boston, spend my money, get shitty service, tip them, walk out of there, and then get called the N-word on the way out the door. No, give me my racism up front. Let me keep my little ducats in my pocket and take it to somebody who I serving me out the front door. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I take my racism up front. I take my bigotry up front. I don't want to go through the getting to know anybody phase. Like, I'm done with the getting to know you phase. Like, I'm telling you right now, God forbid if something was to happen to you, I ain't going to get to know another woman again that good. It just ain't happening. I don't want to go through the get to know you phase about nothing and nobody no more at that get to know you phase. Like that, it's like, as far as like, all right, cool, friendship, this and that. But as far as digging through all of the bullshit that you're trying to hide because you really feel this way and you want to holler, I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want none of that because it is absolutely ridiculous now that we cannot speak. We cannot say things, and it's just crazy because the same people who'll be like, oh, no, everybody want to talk about First Amendment. Just like I said, you can't tell a man how to act, but it's also a way to react, right? And people are like, well, you always believe in the First Amendment, right? Yeah, I believe in the First Amendment. And like I said, Chris Rock can say what he wants to say. He's freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. But the thing about freedom of consequences is, too, is like, dog, now, even with that, so the freedom of consequence, okay, cool. Well, Mr. Smith ain't free of consequences either. Now, movies is getting canceled. He's supposed to be like Deadshot or something, one of them trash Marvel characters. I'm not Marvel, but DC characters that shoot everything or whatever, Deadshot, whatever. That's gone. How many people not going to make any money? How many people was looking towards that? How many people bought something and was like, oh, baby, we moving up. We just got this and that. Oh, yeah, baby, boom, boom, boom. Now the movie's on hold. Some other production he had was on hold. Who knows what's going to happen with Bel Air? You know what I'm saying? Was they going to do a season 2 of Bel Air? All of that stuff affects other people. You know what I'm saying? It affects other people, right? So, and it's another thing. That dude literally had a mental breakdown to do that because I just don't think. I mean, that's a mental break, right? Like he had a mental break. It ain't no different.
Completely irrational.
Yeah, it's no different than some of the shit that like Kanye do and everything else. And too many times in life we will sit here and we watch people and make a complete spectacle of them and keep hyping them up because they entertaining, and we'll keep hyping them up. And it's like they just burning down. They melting down. And then when they melt down, what we gonna do? Grab the next entertaining person. When we looked at Britney Spears and all these people just boom, burn, head, yeah, lost their mind, shade their head, did all this crazy shit. This and that. Oh, spectacle, spectacle, spectacle. When we done, throw them away. Next one, spectacle, spectacle. When Kanye West, not anybody gonna be like, damn. They're gonna be like, who next?
Yeah.
Who's the next person to talk about? Like the people that do dead rappers get better promotion. The whole nine. When you think about like all the rappers in this young generation, the ones that I remember out of these, that's like, you know what I mean, that's too young for me, that like not my taste. The ones that I remember is all the ones that die and they, oh, rest in peace. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Juice WRLD. Rest in peace, I think it was what was it, King Von, one of them. Like, it's not even like my era of music really, but it's like when them dudes die, that's when you notice about them, and like all of these people got real problems. So it's like either we always talk this shit about, oh, mental health this, mental health that. But I'm getting to the point now when people say mental health, that shit is like nothing but like, oh, this is just some new cool kid club to belong to. It remind me of like Fight Club. Like in Fight Club when he started going to the meetings because he was all fucked up and couldn't sleep. So he started going to the meetings like men with testicular cancer. And then the girls start coming.
Something crazy I saw too. I was just looking through the internet. I was just reading a random article and I really can't remember what the terminology was for this condition, but it was just something random that we would do every day. And they termed it as some sort of mental illness. And I was like, what? How it was something similar, something just like, okay, you having a reaction to something that happened that was bad to you. Oh, when you do this means you have so-and-so. I'm like, how the hell? That's a natural reaction to something. You can't just go around creating these labels. And that's the problem. People think they have all these issues and their life is so hard and they can't cope. You keep piling stuff on them over and over and over again, thinking that they're incapable when they are capable of dealing and finding tools to deal with whatever it is that they have going on.
I think identifying these problems, I think the thought behind it was good. I think the implementation of all the mental health things was trash. Because, for instance, how many people probably was in special ed or whatever they called it? What did they call special education when you went down in Florida? Same thing, just special ed. But I mean, all of these people,
exceptional something.
Yeah, they call it some foolishness like that or whatever. Everybody know who the hell they talking about. But like with special ed, a lot of times you had to think like my god brother, he was in special ed. And you know what? Right now, don't nobody know no difference. That dude make more money than I do. That dude make more money than I do on the street, this and that. But it was just for behavioral stuff, because you know, like in Jersey, if you had bad behavior, if you had autism, if you had any of this stuff that they really didn't have a grip on, they just threw it all in the special ed.
Yeah,
special ed. So you might be in different classes for your learning ability.
And that also happened a lot too to African American kids, minority kids.
Yeah, so we sit there when we talk about it, and the problem is that we got to the point where we start identifying it. Identifying it was good. The problem is that we start giving people a crutch, and we start treating people instead of making people seem handy capable. You know what I'm saying? We gave them a handicap. Like, oh, well, you know what? You don't have to do this. We made people lazy. We made society lazy based off of like, oh, well, if you're lazy, you know how you could justify being lazy? Find a whole bunch of shit in this box and say that's you. That fits you. Like, oh, I think I got some of this. I got some of that. I got some of this. I got some of that. Blah, 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 blah. By the definitions of depression and all of this other stuff, is like everybody depressed.
Yeah.
Like if you go by the definition of like bipolar or borderline and all that stuff, is like damn near everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Like going through the eMed or med.com.
Oh yeah, it's like on Google MD. You go on Google MD.
Yeah, WebMD. And
WebMD.
Google, oh, I got a headache and
polio.
my stomach hurt a little bit. And,
polio.
Oh my God, I got cancer. Like what? I don't believe it's that deep, but you know, I just got an ache. Probably
be up to like I got a little stomach pain.
Yourself out of it.
You got ovarian cancer.
Right.
I'm a fucking dude. Like how do I got ovarian cancer? Like were you? And then it'll come up with some like crazy question. Were you born this and that? What do you identify as? I identify as I don't have fucking ovaries, and they dropped and they became testicles. Like.
Yeah, that's for real.
Get back to the comments. B Rabbit said, "Is it that people make fun of his hairline because it's thinning, or because he's trying to hold on to it?" I don't think most of us laugh at men who shave their head bald. It depends. Everybody don't look good with a bald head. Just like Jada look good with a bald head, but if your head look like a football, Hey Arnold would not look good with a bald head.
Bunny, I think that it's because he's holding on to it. Probably.
Yeah, it is because I get it.
Just let it go, bro. Let it go. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, but then what if he got a funny shaped ass head?
And he probably does. But
Yeah.
so what? What happens to the men who just go bald and their head look like, oh my God?
They just get shit on by women, and they say they don't age well.
Somebody
and
like
the
they big
crackhead
head.
and the crackhead over there who walking around with church loafers on in a 3-piece suit on Dunn Avenue in 93 degrees. They're like, he aging well. No, he's 17. Like that man just looked like he's 67. You wonder why he still got a hairline? He's 17. Look out here. Wick said men are viewed as weak if they show their feelings. If they show their feelings are human, so men have to put up a fake mask all the time. Women can cry and it's okay and it's expected. That's true, and a lot of that is on us as men. Like we won't give each other the energy, but I mean, Wick, me and you know personally between each other that we done leaned on each other and really done like told each other how we feel about a whole bunch of stuff, and we don't look at it like that. But I mean, I tell you right now, if you had to did that like where I grew up at, we would have called you all types of hoes back in the day. But now I'm grown, I understand that, so it takes a certain level of maturity as men. Because we was just raised that way. And especially, to be honest with you know who's the hardest on me about crying when I was a kid? My mama. My mama was like, I ain't had no goddamn daughter. Hey, pull your skirt down, pussy. Like, you know what I mean? Sitting over there with a Newport 100 hanging out the side of her mouth and shit like that. Toughen up, pussy. You want to be soft, this and then the baby me or something later be like, you know I love you, baby boy, this and that. As soon as we hit the street, show her whole ass together. Out here doing push-ups and pull-ups and shit like that. I'm tough.
Yeah,
Fighting it.
yeah.
I remember I got jumped one time, man. I was on
mode, that macho, oh my God, this is what
yeah,
it
that
is.
shit came from my mom. Like that wasn't even from you would think it'd come from my godfather because you met my godfather. You think it'd come from my grandfather because you know what I mean, that like the dude who I consider like if anybody asked me who my dad
and
was.
she probably saw that for some, with different men.
Yeah, with different men, with a whole
behavior,
bunch of dudes. So she used to beat that. I remember I got jumped, and I held my own. I came back lip busted, this and that, I'm in Prince Street, and come back, tell my mom. My mom up like, all right, we about to roll back through. They had to fight the whole damn family. Like I'm out there shooting a fade with somebody's lineage. Like, you know what I mean? Like their whole family tree. 23andMe is 23andMe for real. Me and 23 motherfuckers out here boxing in front of the projects. Because my mom was like, ain't gonna be no. I'm exhausted afterwards. I didn't want to fight sleep afterwards. I didn't want to fight a tear. I didn't want to fight a cold. If a cold had came, it would have took me out of here. It would have been like consumption. Into the dark night I went. I was done. Consumption. Wick also said when someone is diagnosed with depression, the problem is with society not supporting them. It's not the person that has the problem. Society needs to change. Society needs to change, but people are society, right? So it's kind of like saying, part of something needs to change, but it's up to like, it's up to like saying the engine needs to change, not the pistons. The pistons are part of the engine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we are society, right? So we can't say like, it's like when we talk about the black community, you can't say, oh, well, the black community needs to change if I ain't changed first, right? Like I need to change too. And some of the things with it, but some of the problems is that it's too many people. It's just like any other issue that we have. It's entirely too many people who take an issue upon themselves, make it their own. They're like flaunt it, flex it, make it whatever they want to get like their sympathy out of it, and that everything else. Like it was a girl on just saw the thing on Twitter. She was a trans girl, right? So yeah. So she's 17. Put some pictures of bruises. Started to GoFundMe. Got like 15 racks. 15 racks or something talking about she being physically and sexually abused. Like, oh, I'm a black trans girl who's being physically and sexually abused, this and that, showed some pictures. Everybody just start going to the boom, 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 here's 50, here's 100, here's 50, here's 100. All that shit was fake. They couldn't find out all that shit was fake. So the crazy thing is, but the crazy thing about it is like, all she did was hit all the keywords. She hit all the right hashtags for something, right? Like it was just like on Twitter, when you want some shit to blow up on social media, hit the right hashtags. And then you get into the algorithm or something. That's all she did. I'm black. I'm trans. I'm a teenage girl. You know what I mean? I'm a black trans teenage girl or whatever who's being sexually and physically abused and assaulted.
So that's crazy that they would use that, for a community that's already struggling and that's already trying to find their place, that she would use that to her advantage so now when things like that happen, that's kind of like what happened when we were talking about the whole issue with the transgender community. Always, it's always an issue with the alphabet people, right?
Yeah.
So it's always an issue, and people are using that to have these fake news, right?
Yeah,
And then so now when
yeah.
something really happens, people gonna be like, all right, well, whatever. They ain't
Yeah,
they
because
probably lying.
it's crying wolf. Because it's
Yeah.
like you bitch about too much of the small stuff. That when the big stuff comes, it's like, yo, you done already bitch about 30 things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You done bitched about this, bitched about that, bitched about this, bitched about. Now it's like, oh, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Well, cool. You done got enough leniency. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like people look at it. People look at like giving a fuck. They look at like caring is currency, right? So if I care for you, that is a currency. It might not be financially or whatever, but if I show care, I show love, I show understanding, I show support. That's a currency. So if I've paid you in this currency and I give you 50 care points, I care. Fucking Care Bear shooting raids across the room and shit like that, right? Boom, I hit you with 50 care points. Then I come back through and give you 50 support points. Then I come back through and give you 50 whatever points. And then I come to find out that all of that was, them last three things is bullshit, and I done gave you 150 units of care, love, and support. So now you need 100, now you need 200 units of care, love, and support. Guess who ain't giving you nothing? Me, because I've gave you a currency. So it's just like if I give you money, I gave you $50 this time, $50 that time. You up like, yo, I need $50 to get some money for my grandmother. I'm going to get some medicine for my grandmother. All right, bro. Yo, man, my grandmother need that medicine again. All right, bro. Yo, man, last time I'm asking my grandmother need this and that. All right, bro. Find out your grandma been dead since 96.
Got a problem.
Now you talk about, so, hey, man, my baby's sick. I need some money.
And it's real.
Fuck your baby.
Yeah.
All right. Take that $150 I had already gave you that you use for various other things, and but it still will be $200. Just give me the other 50. The other 50 is disappointment. Take that shit, roll it up, and rub that on your baby. Hope your baby feel better.
Rub that on your baby.
Rub that on your fucking baby. But Art said, so does society need to change, or do people need to stop being soft as hell? I think it's a little bit of both.
Yep, I say combination of both.
Yeah, I think two things could be true. I think that's basically why it's coming to a head so fast, because it's like on one side you got society soft as hell. You got people soft as hell, and on the other side you got society needs to change, and it's like both of them, like people getting softer, and society is getting wilder. So it's just like, yeah, because the crazy thing about society now is people just don't have respect. Like they don't got respect because like the internet done started like there used to be a good fear about testing the metal of another man, right? There'd be a good fear. Like you see me on the street, there's a whole different fear than checking me on the internet. Like checking me on the internet saying some wild shit, like people will hop in these comments and say something wild. It's easy to say that here. It's not easy to say that when I'm 3 feet off your ass. Like you say like, oh well, blah 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 blah, and y'all go, this podcast is stupid, and this and that, da 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 da. You downloaded 70 episodes. Good job, dickhead. Not you, Art, but obviously, you know what I mean. People who sit there and make comments, they send in emails and this, that, and the third. But it's easy to say that because the internet gave us a false sense of security or something like that. Because it's like, oh well, you're all the way over here, and all I am is an IP address and a note, and this, that, and the third. But before, for people to interact, we done made connecting with people too easy. People shouldn't be able. This many people shouldn't be able to have contact with you. Yeah. And I think they should have access to you, because if you think about when we talk about mental health was different before, like you had your tribe of people, like when we talk about that tribe repeatedly in Africa about the way they do things. When you talk about when you had like this small community, you had the community that raised you, you had this tribe, you had these people, and these people raised you. You didn't have contact with all of these people who didn't have none. And it's a lot harder to do something and operate that way when you're around your people, right? Like think about that, a strange uncle who done like touched the kid or something. He's ostracized regardless. Like, you know what I mean? Either he getting his ass beat at the cookout, or everybody know they're like, hey, we'll tell me. I know y'all ain't let Tommy take them kids. You know what I mean? Yeah. We doing all of that, right? But so we just that's just too much. It's just too much. Like that's the problem with social media and everything, is that too many people got access to people at any time.
Right.
Like you shouldn't have access to people at any time. Like my whole thing is this: is like, don't call me on Facebook Messenger one-on-one. Like we got meetings for the gun club. Sometimes we'll do that shit through Facebook Messenger because it's easier than not Skype. What's up? Zoom. It's easier than Zoom or whatever. But like just somebody out the blue calling me on Facebook Messenger. If you don't know my number and you don't know anybody who knows my number, we probably don't got contact with each other. Mm-hmm. You're trying to carry the contact. Like basically all of this shit was supposed to happen this way. I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here connected. I'm doing that, da, da, da. Fox is right here. Fox has her web of people. I have my web of people, this and that. If you way over here, off camera, you can't connect to none of these people, none of Fox's people, none of the people, those people, that you just got to come out of nowhere and be like, I don't. And that's how you reach out to me about some deep shit, bro. We probably shouldn't really be connected like that. Yeah. Like, because, and that's where people fall out, because the people who giving you these crazy ass opinions about life, who telling you what life should be and everything else, these are also people who never would have had a voice before. Mm-hmm. And we've given everybody a voice, and that's the hard part about social media. And granted, I mean, we're doing it right now. We on a podcast right now. We made a podcast, and now anybody can hear us. And anybody, we have a voice that people would have to hear. That there are a couple of thousand people that listen or whatever. They have to hear or whatever. And sometimes it's too much because people forget the gravity of having an audience.
Right.
Like, you can't just say whatever the hell you want. You can't just act this way and just say, oh, well, you know what, it's the internet. Oh, well,
I mean, sometimes we do say whatever the hell we want.
But anybody who know me, but this is the big difference. Anybody who know us know this is the same people you get. Actually, this is more mild because, like, nothing about this. Like, people done said stuff about, like, ain't no way in the world he act like that in real life.
Yeah, it's worse,
if you know me, I'm worse. Like, if you know me, I'm worse in real life. It's way more profanity. I'm actually knocking stuff over. I'm super animated with my hands and everything like that. And I'm about everything that I say I am, and then some cayenne pepper on it. So, I think that's the big problem. Is like, is society soft? Yeah, say society's soft, but society's changed, and it's kind of like we can keep sitting there thinking that society's soft, but if you do this like study about the different generations from like the baby boomers and on up to generation X, Y, Z through whatever, right? And you go and you learn about it, we ain't really as different as we would like to be. It's just like one little thing changed, and that thing that changed is like, oh, like we grew up in the era we didn't ask that many questions. Now these kids ask 1,000 questions. It's like, are they wrong for wanting to know what the hell they doing?
Right.
I said, not really. Maybe we dumb for not asking no questions. When they was like, go do this. All right.
And we just do it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I told him, when I made Chief. I made Chief about a decade ago. But in the military, I made Chief. Big, huge milestone in the Navy, making Chief, right? That's E7. And I made it, and I remember thinking and looking at dudes would say like, oh, well, you know, in our day we used to do it like this and that. In our day we used to do this and that. We got way more shit to worry about than back in your day. Like, back in your day, this kid ain't have nothing to listen to but you, and he took your word as God. I got to sit here and worry about this kid getting a Dear John letter through Facebook Messenger when we get some internet access or something like that. Like, it's just a completely different thing, but we just wondered about how different. And as I sit here and I see these kids every year in, year out, I see some new 18-year-old kid who think he got it figured out every year. That's the crazy thing about new accession sales.
Oh, they have it figured out before they 18.
Yeah, they got it all figured out, just like teenagers. Like, oh, got it all figured out. But that's because we don't teach accountability. Accountability is a lost cause in today's society, right? Like, we was bad about it before, and now we just found a way around it. Like, we just found a way around it again, where it's like, you think with all of this, all these super smart people now, and all these internet, I know everything, and all these psychiatrists, these self-taught psychiatrists and psychologists and everybody else, that we will learn how to like handle things better and talk about things better. We haven't. We just found new ways to find cute words and phrases and groups of people to justify our bullshit, so that
new ways to sugarcoat and avoid.
Yeah, it's up here like, oh, well, this and that. You tell anybody anything, it's fucking gaslighting, it's misdirection, it's this and that, it's blah, 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 blah. And that's the shit you got to deal with, because somebody always got a word to say like, oh, well, that looks like gaslighting. No, it's not gaslighting. It's not gaslighting. It's actually you're fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, that's deflecting. It's like, no, it's not really deflecting. It's, I told you I'm not comfortable talking about some shit, and you keep trying to press the issue. So now yes, I'm moving it. So you could try to make it sound like these words that somebody's doing, oh, that's narcissism. No, I just care about myself more than I care about you. My life means more to me than yours does. So I mean, it is what it is. Like, oh, you're a narcissist. Okay, yeah, sure. I'm whatever you want me to be, because to you, I'm whatever you want to be. I can be the bad guy, and I think we need to accept. And it's something that there's been a work in progress in my entire life, is accepting that people are not going to like me, and accepting that people are going to say I did shit that I didn't do. And I know that I myself have a trauma about that, about people saying that I'm doing something that I'm not doing. It came from when I was a kid, because I just got in trouble at school for some shit I didn't do. And I don't even remember what school I was in. I think it was like Madison Avenue or something. And they said I did something. I didn't do it. I sat there getting badgered. Like, when I look back on it, if I was my daddy, I would have came in and slapped fire to everybody. That shit would look like a Red Man video. I would have slapped every fucking teacher in there, talking, asking my son all this crazy. Y'all badgering my son. They're like, did you do it? No, I didn't do it. Did you do it? No, I didn't. It was like stealing or some shit. And I'm like, no, I don't steal. Like, I didn't do it. I got raised better than that. I don't steal. I don't steal. You know, you can go home if you just tell us that you took it. No, well, I guess I'd be here all night. And then, but I didn't have much resolve at 6.
Yeah.
So
I'm
hungry. Like, I done missed a meal. I'm 6. Like, shit. I'm probably like 6, 7 years old. Something. It's like, and they over here like, if you just admit it, we'll let you go home. I admitted getting in trouble, all this bad shit on my record, everything else. And I got so much trouble. My mama beat my ass. The neighborhood beat my ass. I remember I felt like I got jumped. Like I got jumped in the gang. That's what happened. I got jumped in the gang of asshole kids, and I just remember it's like I ain't letting that shit happen. I ain't letting nobody protect my reputation at all costs. And I remember even reading that and
definitely have a thing about that. I can
protect my reputation at all costs. But I've come as now and even in this stage of my life where I'm realizing it's like not at all costs. Sun Tzu didn't mean at all costs. Like, I mean not Sun Tzu, but I'm talking about the art of war.
Sometimes you gotta say fuck it.
Yeah, the 50, the 48 laws of power. Sometimes you just gotta be like, that's what you think about me. Fuck you for thinking it. Fuck your friends for believing you.
That's right.
And fuck all y'all together. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all could just have a big circle jerk of fuck you.
I'm 100% with the fuck it's. All right.
Sometimes you just got to let people.
Easy.
Yeah, sometimes you got to let people go. Because at the end of the day, people just use that. Men and women use that as a way to manipulate you. Where they'll just be like, oh, well, you did this. And like dudes will do it. Like I know dudes do it. Well, you just left me when I was down and this and that. Dog, you fucked her sister. You hit on her. You smack her mama ass. You got her coworker pregnant. You dropped the baby down the steps.
You did all of this.
You got her kicked out of Section 8 housing and ain't pay a bill. You crashed the car. She lapsed the insurance because you said you was gonna flip the money. And now you talking about and you blew it. And then she lost her tax money. Because of you. But you about to sit here and talk about you gonna leave me when I'm down, baby. Wait till I get up again.
I'm going to.
Leave them. Or women to do that. Women to do that. Well, baby, I'm gonna do better, and I could do this and that, and I'm gonna change, and I'm sorry. You just not giving me a chance. You gonna leave me and do just like my parents did, and this and that, da 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 da. I'm like, yes. Hey, you called him daddy. He left, right? Guess what? I'm daddy too.
That's
I'm out. I'm going to get a Pepsi and a pack of cigarettes. I'm out. Like, I'm out of here. Yeah, call me daddy on the way out of here. I'm about to go start a new family, just like your real daddy. I'm out. Ain't dealing with your bullshit. Yeah,
Speaking of crazy.
Oh, shit.
Can't make this shit up.
Can't make this shit up. Let me get come on, open up phone. Because my homie B Rabbit came through with this one. Came through with the come through. What we got? FedEx. Talking about FedEx. Dad is in worst nightmare trying to find son's body after it was lost in the mail 3 years ago. I'm going to let that digest for a second.
Lost in the mail 3 years ago.
Dad is in worst nightmare. Worst nightmare trying to find his son's body after it was left in the mail 3 years ago. Your first question is how? Or I didn't know who the hell was mailing bodies, or what the hell? Read more. Like, okay, any of those three questions, valid. Let's go through it. You might have something else. The family of a Georgia man who died in 2019 is seeking restitution after the man's remains were inexplicably lost in the mail and never recovered.
Oh my God.
Jeffrey Merriweather of Fulton County, Georgia, said his 32-year-old son's body, not 32-month, not 32-day, 32-year-old son. This is a grown.
That's a fully
grown ass man. Like peak growth, not getting no taller. No thanks. What are you doing here? Okay. Yeah, so his son was, so they said the 32-year-old son's body was discovered partially decomposed weeks after a suspected shooting in 2019, although he would never learn his son's cause of death. Instead, part of Jeffrey Merriweather Jr.'s remains were somehow lost while being shipped from the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office to a specialized facility to determine the cause of death. 3 years later, his family is looking to take legal action in hopes of holding someone accountable for the disappearance of their loved one's body.
How you lose a whole body?
Yeah, if this is FedEx, let me tell you something.
Come on,
Jeff Bezos would never.
He would never.
Jeff Bezos would have never. Jeff Bezos would have got that body.
Sure.
Jeff Bezos, they would have got there, took a picture of it, and he would have
doorstep
still been alive. They would have revived him. He would have popped out the box from Daddy, I'm home. Like Jeff Bezos would have got him there. I ain't fucking with FedEx.
Oh my God.
That's wild. A FedEx spokesperson tells people our thoughts and concerns. I hate when people say thoughts and concerns because them shits ain't paid a bill ever. FedEx spokesperson tells People, so this is People magazine, I guess, our thoughts and concerns remain with the family of Mr. Mayweather. However, we request that further questions be directed to the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office.
How you gonna pass the buck to the county? They gave them to you.
They gave them to you. They still got the tracking number.
Right. They still
just because y'all deleted the tracking number, don't mean like it ain't real.
It didn't happen.
Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office didn't immediately respond. FedEx spokesperson previously told the station that the shipment arrived at the mail carrier's Austell location.
I like how they calling it shipment. So
Shipment, like this a
God
whole
damn.
ass person, be like a whole grown ass man.
That's crazy.
The mail carriers arrived at the mail carrier's Austell location, but couldn't be traced further.
So what happened, FedEx, from
Bro,
the
I
time
got some
you
questions on that
received
tracking
it
number. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you
the
100.
time it was supposed to be shipped out?
First of all, Jeff Bezos would never. But what I would say is this: if there was ever a time where somebody said some shit about harvesting organs,
Yeah.
and B-Rap was talking about this shit, 100%
Definitely have
believe like
questions.
y'all had to do this. This was on some shit like we got a
Yeah.
body, we got this and that. Y'all didn't examine it at all. Y'all know at the time. It's either A, you got the ops work at FedEx. That's like some shit like, I'm working at FedEx, I'm moving bodies, and you call me and be like, hey, bae, what you doing? I'm like, nothing, man, I'm about to move this shipment. Just
Got
came
one
in from
coming
folks. You have to
in,
like,
got one
hey,
coming.
it's a body coming in.
Right,
Hey,
exactly.
we popped his ass right behind the yard or something, this and that, da 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 da.
Go get
But
it.
Chuck, he
get off
got that.
shift.
Yeah, I need you to get that body, make it disappear. So now I'm in FedEx in the back, dragging the body or something like that. He leaking them.
That's possible. That's
Yeah,
just
it's
crazy.
either like something like the ops where he did somebody trying to cover something, or somebody just sold the organs because there's like ain't nobody gonna
Somebody,
care.
yeah, nobody.
But how
would
does
care.
shit stay quiet for 3 years? Like
3
it's some
years.
stuff that you can lose in the mail, and it's some stuff that you can say it went to the wrong location.
But you can't say a whole ass.
You can't
body.
say a whole body. Like it's like you could go and say we live on 123 Esperanza Street, and then they send it to 123 Esperanza Avenue. It's some things that you can send over that we won't see again. Tablet,
Oh my
PlayStation,
God, Wick, I can't.
you know
do
what I mean?
that.
This and that.
I can't.
But
do this.
what you can't do is what you saw Wick comment.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, but what you can't do is a dead body gonna show up to our house that was supposed to be on Esperanza Street and then Esperanza Avenue and say, oh, this is that a body come. Excuse me, Mr. Postman, come get this plate. No, you got the
this-
wrong.
This too big.
This too big. This too big. This big ass wooden coffin. You
Oh
think
my
no,
God.
bro? No, I'm not signing for this.
I
I
wonder
know I
how
didn't.
was it packaged?
And probably in a little ass box, reusable little freight box. Pap, 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 couple nails on the side of that shit. Ship them.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Ship 'em. Had to be
FedEx
one of the
definitely
refrigerated
need to be
trucks.
Held accountable for that.
It had to be a refrigerated
Definitely.
truck. Cause there ain't no way you about to have that shit on the back with just regular ass postage. You know what I mean?
Now
Funky
I'm-
ass body, got everything.
Now I'm like, gonna be driving down the highway and looking at these trucks. And
Looking
like,
at these
I
trucks,
wonder how
wondering,
many bodies they got back
Who
there.
lineage about to stop in the back of that
Oh
truck?
my God, that's crazy.
Yeah, so Wick said me, my mom, and dad took my dead grandpa in the U-Haul from Louisiana to Texas back in the 90s. That,
I can't even. That's
Yeah,
why I was
that's
like,
wild.
I can't.
yeah, that's
Wick,
what.
I can't
And
with you, Wick.
you know what the crazy thing is? You know what that U-Haul didn't have in the back?
A refrigerator.
AC. Did not have no refrigerator, no AC, no nothing.
That's crazy. That's exactly what it didn't have in there. The U-Haul did not have a refrigerator. So how did y'all do that? How did y'all end up doing that?
Baby going crazy up there. Yeah, how did y'all deal with that? Did y'all throw some ice packs on it? Like y'all had to do something.
Well, it said Louisiana to Texas, so that's not that far.
It's-
Isn't that like 4
you know what
hours
it is?
to Houston?
You know what
or
it is?
something?
Hot.
It's hot though.
It's-
Yeah. How y'all?
Louisiana-
What did y'all do? Y'all wrapped them in
Louisiana-
blankets. Y'all. What
blankets?
did y'all have a coffin? What's going on, Wick? You
Y'all
don't
had
have to
to-
explain this story because
Yeah,
this
we
is
need
this
more
is a
detail.
can't make that shit up.
He was embalmed so he didn't stink. Okay, he's
Oh,
already
okay. So
embalmed.
y'all
Yeah,
already
okay.
embalmed him. I'm assuming he was in a coffin already,
Or some type of box.
and y'all was just ready to.
He
do
wasn't just sitting over there weekend at Bernie's and shit. Like,
No, weekend at Bernie's. Y'all did y'all did the old school way. Okay.
All right, yeah,
It
that's
costs
legit.
less.
Because y'all,
It
I
costs
mean,
less.
yeah. But I mean,
Shipping
gas back
bodies
then
is
was under
apparently
$1.
expensive in a lot of different ways.
And
now.
ain't fuck
You
around
might
and don't
lose
get them.
one,
Fuck
right?
around, and lose a loved one.
Oh my God.
Ain't put enough stamps on that motherfucker or something. I don't know. You ready to gun it?
Of course.
I don't even remember which one it is. I'm pressing that keyboard.
God. Oh my God. So
I think that thing got louder.
it did get a little louder. Gun to your head.
Okay.
Would
Can
you
I
rather
move?
know?
Detroit
you
urban
rather-
survival.
Gun to your head. Would you rather know when you're going to die or how you're going to die?
When?
Why you want to know when?
How is too much anxiety. Because it'll be like if you tell me you're going to die going for a run. Now I'm going to be fat as fuck because I'm never going to run again. Now I'm just never going to run. But just sitting there. If you tell me how whatever that activity was, I'm going to
You
be
try
afraid
to-
to do. And now you
yeah.
putting the start. If I know when I'm going to die, if you just tell me like, yo, you're going to like what's that, Hellbound or whatever, that show we watch,
Oh
it's
yeah.
like you're gonna die in the 72 hours.
Right.
You're bound to hell and all that shit. It's like, first of all, I ain't need all that information. You could have stopped there. When I'm gonna die, I know exactly where I'm going. I know what type of life I live.
I know the destination.
I know my destination. I know I punched the one. I know I punched the one-way ticket. You know what I'm saying? I gave him a round trip, punched the one-way. I know where I'm going. So I'd rather know when, because when is just like, damn, I die in 3 days. That's not really anxiety. It's kind of like, all right, live your life, live your life, live your life. Knowing that I'm gonna die like in traffic is like, imagine if they just tell. That's how they tell you, like, you're gonna die in a car accident. God damn.
I'm walking. Fuck it.
No, that don't mean that ain't gonna be a car accident. 2 cars just come and smash you. That's a car accident. You dead. Okay, guess what?
I'm flying 30 minutes away.
That's cool. Guess what? And guess what? Guess how you gonna get there? By car. And guess what happened when that plane on the runway? A car hit it. Like it just like a car flew into a plane today on the 7. It's gonna be like a Final Destination. Like, just let me know when I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I prefer that in a heartbeat. So tell me, was you picking the other one?
Yeah, I was. I want to know how. You know, I want to know how.
Hey, what if that should be vague too? They be like, you're gonna die. How are you gonna die? From a snake bite.
Like, I ain't walking outside ever.
You don't know. You don't know. But you don't know. Somebody might. You go to somebody's house and now you got to be the weirdo that's coming in there like, y'all got a snake.
You know, I already be looking around for bugs anyway, so it ain't gonna make no difference.
But you ain't afraid of snakes. Like, you're afraid of bugs. You ain't afraid of snakes. Which is weird as hell. We can have a 30-pound python in here, and you'll be cool as the other side of the pillow. One cicada, and the whole house got to get burned down.
Yep, burn that shit down.
So you really rather know?
I rather know how. Yeah.
What if they say in the wood chipper?
So how the hell I get in the wood chipper?
I mean that would be, you'll be thinking about that every day. You'll be like, how? And then I just bought a wood chipper. You gonna be like,
I'm like, wait, I gotta move, babe. I love you so much. We can be husband and wife.
We can be husband and wife separately. No wood chippers. No one live in an apartment. No more houses. No more backyards with wood chippers.
No more nothing. That's it.
You cut it down with an axe. If you love me, you just cut it with an axe. Sell it on eBay right now.
That's exactly how I would probably be. Like, I would want to know how. So if I see, it's so weird, you know, how things come back to your memory at the oddest time, right? So you can be doing something else and then memory come back of something you were doing or something you were supposed to do.
Deja vu.
No, not that. Deja vu was like that. I've done this before thing. But a memory would come for something you were supposed to do, you were supposed to say, like, oh, shit, I forgot to do this.
That's usually you. That's you. You're that feeling for me. Bae, you forgot to fix the thing.
Well, that's what happened. So I think that'll be in the back of my head. If something's going on, like if they told me I was gonna die by fucking, I don't know, get my hair braided too tight, some shit.
Wow.
I don't know.
I'm never getting my hair braided.
Pull a damn nerve.
Now you're gonna be out here like, I got alopecia.
Right. If I'm getting somebody retwisting my hair or something, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute.
Why you twisting so tight?
Stop.
Why you twisting? Man, you come
something crazy like that. So I definitely would want to know how, because before it happens, or if I'm on the way to do whatever it is, I think my mind would kind of trigger them like, oh, is this the time? You know, is this when it's going to happen?
But that's what I'm saying, is that's too much anxiety.
I would want to know, you know, I have high anxiety
That's
anyway,
going to be worse anxiety.
So,
now, every time, and especially depending on how vague they put it, they be like, how are you going to die? You're going to get struck by lightning. Now, every time it rains, you in a bunker. Like,
yeah.
I just want to know. So I know, like, ain't going to happen today. Now I'm doing wild shit. I'm out here. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about picking up parachuting as a hobby since I've done it professionally already.
I ain't gonna die today, so
I ain't gonna die today. Let's go.
They ain't say you can't get hurt though. They ain't say you can't get hurt to the point where
I wish I was dead.
Some limbs and yes.
Yeah. I'm out here rolling with the Stephen Hawkings and shit.
Exactly.
Wicker said, I want to know how I'm going to die. And if I don't like the way I'm going to die, then I'll kill myself in a different way before the prediction comes to fruition.
I kind of, I feel that. I understand that.
I don't understand that at all. That's the pettiest shit ever. You want to die on petty?
I understand that.
Like, don't nobody tell me when to die. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Like,
nobody tell me how I'm going to die. I want to die this way.
I don't want to die this way. I'm going to die that way. And guess what? You're going to slit your throat and you're going to get stitched up and then you're still going in the fucking wood chipper. Car going to get in action and hit a wood chipper running in the back of F-150 in the middle of traffic on I-10.
Oh, my God.
Y'all ass still getting out of here, man.
You know, those people who die in the most oddest way, it's kind of like, I wonder if they look back and be like, damn, I had to go out like that?
No,
all the ways.
No, I know what happened. No, I know what happened.
Go?
I know what happened. As soon as the Grim Reaper come get their ass, like, you thought you was smooth, didn't you? Thought you was slick, then you tried your little spin move. That shit worked in college and football, didn't it? I ain't missed the tackle yet, player. I'm on your ass, bucko. Hey, it's been great doing work with you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go pick up your girl, too. She cheating on you right now. I'm about to go get her. She about to die on the dick. I'll be right back.
See, don't do that.
Yeah, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. I tell me when, because it's like, if I know when, I ain't worried about nothing. I'm just going ahead and I'm living my life, and I know that day coming, and I'm just going to come to terms with it. Like, you could just come to terms with knowing the day you're going to die. They're like, yo, you got 10 years. The only thing that'll make me crazy about it is, like, the moment I know that, I need to carve it into my arm. Because I don't want to forget. Oh, yeah. That's not some shit I want to be like.
And that's the ironic thing. You probably will forget.
Yeah. You be up to like,
damn it, I knew it.
What day you going? Like, if they told me I died, I'm going to die in like 100 years, it'd be like.
You're going to forget that.
Bruh, I'm going to forget everything in 90 years. Shit. Yeah. I might forget everything by the time I'm 80. I'm going to be faking amnesia anyway. Like, hey, baby. Oh, sorry.
Whatever.
There's people here. Oh, I'm sorry. Who are you again? Like. Out here doing the thing, but yeah, no, ain't no way. I want to know that shit is crazy. You and Wick really on? I want to know how.
Wick, I'm like, I ain't dying like that.
You're gonna die. You're gonna die by overdose. And then telling you how you gonna die don't even tell you enough. They say you're gonna die by overdose. You're gonna be like, I don't even do drugs. Guess what? You get kidnapped and somebody do this and that. Somebody poison you. It don't tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't tell you anything. Telling me when I'm going to die gives me something definitive because I got a couple follow-up questions. You're going to die at this time on this date. What time zone? What year is that again?
Well, we can get more specific with the questions about how, too.
Even if they don't tell me that. Even if they tell me that. I'm in the ballpark. If they tell me you're going to die on July 15th, 2053 at whatever time, I know within a 24-hour period when I'm dying.
You're going to be gone.
You know what I'm saying? I got a 25. You don't know what day, decade, whenever.
The activity, though.
You don't even know. You don't know the activity.
Stay away from that.
If you die from overdose, you're going to be like, I die from an allergic reaction. What am I allergic to?
What am I allergic to?
So then you take a test to go find out what you're allergic to and die from the allergic reaction. Good job. You made this a whole lot quicker, Grim Reaper. Thought you was slick, didn't you? Got your ass. I'm on your ass, bucko. Tried that little spin move you did in college. I ain't missed a tackle yet. Now I'm going to go get your dumb ass husband because I told him I was going to kill him in 3 days.
No.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Gang.
Oh, my God. So, guys, always good sitting with you guys. Thanks for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We appreciate your support. If you have anything you want to add to the segments or rant, rave, misbehave, hit us up. AskUncleLegend@gmail.com. Peace.
Peace. All right, audio stopped. Do your thing, Fox. Fox stuff.
Okay, you done with it?
No, audio stopped. The video's still going. You about to roll? What we doing?
Yeah, I'm about to roll.
Incoherent Fox noises? All right. All right. Well, I'm the ugly one, so I mean, y'all can talk to me about whatever y'all want to talk about. You can just go ahead and hand me those headphones. Thank you. Your Highness, great. It's been a pleasure working with you. Outstanding. Let me see. I got anything for me? Fox is gone. Say some wild shit if you want to. One, I'm riding for my old lady, and two, she read the comments. So just let you know, just in case y'all think about saying some wild shit. Fox, they talking cold cash shit about you. Huh? Nah, I'm fucking with you. Ain't nobody talking shit about you, baby. I won't let that happen. Yeah, I'm gonna put the next. Oh, that's on the other chat. Yeah, I'm gonna put the next podcast. I'm gonna put the last podcast, the audio out today. I ain't get around to it. Had to go pick up the kids. For those of you who know, King Titan is here. My 8-year-old, and he's the goon of all goons. You know what I'm saying? Probably put up some wedding pictures later. Some more wedding pictures. Fox had posted some if y'all want to see some pictures from my wedding. Flies a helicopter out there. Titan's here, so he's taking up all my time. That's who just came down. Whenever you see me looking up like this, that's me looking up at the steps because there's a 8-year-old grown-ass professional wrestler that's trying to jump over the doggy door and roll down the steps and attack me and tell me he loves me 97 times. What other questions we had here? Patreon. So Patreon should be up by the summer. Fox want to do it a little earlier, but for the Patreon, we're looking at June because that's when we started in June. So we'd like to go ahead and get it up in June before the Juneteenth event that we got with our gun club. We'd like to go ahead and do that. Not to say that those have anything to do with each other, just that's kind of like a milestone to keep you honest because we did it before. We got the podcast started right before the Juneteenth event. I think our second one was like right before Juneteenth. So that's pretty dope. So we had that. And like we said, Patreon gonna be $4.99. You know what I'm saying? It's $5. You spend $5 on worse shit. You spend $5 on extra bullshit ass charges on your cell phone and on DoorDash and getting your groceries delivered to curbside because your fat ass won't get out the car and all the other stuff you do. So I mean, support the podcast. Whatever reason you want to support me, I'm leaning on that for support me. Say you support me because you think Fox is beautiful. I agree. Say you support me because you like me. I doubt it, but I agree. Support me for that. So if you want to support black business, cool. If you want to support a vet, cool. If you want to support me because you think I'm funny, I mean, you got a shitty sense of humor, but cool. Just throw out that $4.99 and get the support. So we'll start getting that Patreon link up. We just want to have gotta get some stuff uploaded. I gotta figure out the whole process of stuff over there, get all that together, and then we'll get rolling with that. And what other questions we got? Questions you got? Yes, I'm coming to work tomorrow. Eat a dick. If one of us reads all the emails, so not meaning that one of us is dedicated to read it. As in, if you send an email to askunclelegend@gmail.com, one of us, if not both of us, will read it. But if one of us reads it, it's kind of like it's usually 3 lines or some shit. Like unless we're gonna read it on the podcast, there's no need for both of us to read it. That's it. So I got something. All right, I see y'all won't mess with me like that because Fox is the pretty one. She not here, so I get it. I wouldn't want to deal with me either. Hence why I like women. What is this? All right. Peace. Appreciate it.